You suck. What's up? What's up, everybody? I'm Paulie. This is Dom G, and we're with the Reverse Shrimp Company. The focus of today's video is the close guard, and our goal is to show different ways you can sweep and come on top. So there's lots to talk about. Let's get into it.
All right. First, we're going to look at the goals of the guard. All right. So when I'm in full guard here, or close guard, I want to break Paul down. His job as the opponent here is he's going to try to stay postured up. He's going to start trying to break. I want to break him down and keep him broken down, and then create favorable angles to sweep or attack. There's a lot to talk about with the sweeps this week, so we're going to focus strictly on the sweeps, and we'll get into all the attacks next week to bring it full circle for you guys. So when I'm in the guard here, I could pull my knees to my chest as I separate his hands from my body to break him down. It's never going to work if I just clear his hands without pulling my knees to my chest, or just pulling my knees to my chest without clearing the hands. I have to do it at the same time. There's multiple ways to clear the hands. I could reach for 2-on-1s. I could pull his arm across his body as I simultaneously pull my knees to my chest to break him down. I could swim underneath his hands, and as I create the disconnect with his hands, I pull my knees to my chest. And I could start to look for overhooks. I could look for the shoulder crunch. If Paul is going to break, this is super important. You do not want to let him stand up, right? So if he gets his hands on my biceps, I need to immediately reach across, grab, a cross grab, and then I could come in for a 2-on-1. I could pull my knees to my chest aggressively as he's starting to build up and stand to keep him, keep his weight forward and make it very difficult for him to stand. If he stands up, I'm going to be in trouble here, and he's going to start to break. I'm going to start to lose it. So, again, I want to create angles and break him down by creating a separation from my body as I pull my knees to my chest. And it's a constant battle. But once you have a favorable position here, I can start to take the back. He's going to want to react. And that's what we're looking for, is to create reactions. We want you guys to start reading reactions instead of forcing sweeps and submissions, and taking the reaction to make your sweeps and your attacks much easier on yourself, and you're going to find yourself with a higher success rate on both your finishes and your sweeps. So we'll get into the scissor sweeps and scissor control.
Excellent. Guys, we're going to go right into scissor control here. And what I'd like to do, I want to get a 2-on-1 grip on Dom's wrist. Right? Sometimes it's hard just to grab it because his elbows are tight and his wrist is right here on my hip. So it's hard to get underneath there. So to get underneath there, if I want, I can lift my hips up. As I lift my hips up here, it creates a little bit of space for me to get my thumb underneath his wrist here, and I can get a 2-on-1, right? So I reach up and I grab. When I grab his wrist here, I'm not just grabbing it just like that. I'm also, as I grab, I'll turn. When I turn, it kind of gives him like an Indian burn a little bit, but I got a good grip here. I turn, you'll see my elbows are close to my body when I do that. So I reach up and I grab his wrist. Now when I do, like Dom said, I want to make sure I get reactions. I pull my knees to my chest, I can push them away, different things like that. When I do, that causes separation, right? So I grab, I bring my knees to my chest, I push them away. When I do, right away, my left foot, watch my foot here, goes right to his hip. My other leg, right, my shin comes right behind his shoulder, right? Now when I have this, I'm not just on my elbow here because I'm lazy. I need to bring my elbow in. This kind of reinforces it on my knee here at the same time as I'm pushing on his hip and bringing my knee, or my shin rather, back and forth, whether I'm kicking up a little bit, and I get to that scissor control, all right? So I'm gonna go to scissor control. I reach underneath, I grab, maybe he's pulling back, doesn't make a difference. I'm pulling, I'm automatically gonna pull forward and go right with my left foot in his hip, my shin behind his shoulder. I got the scissor control here. Now, depending on what my opponent does, is the sweep I wanna hit. So first, we're going to go to the regular scissor sweep here, and when I do, Dom is wanting to come forward. When he wants to come forward, I can create a little bit of distance here. You notice I create a little bit of distance by escaping my hip. When I do, I'm going to drop my leg right I don't want to be super deep here, just on the outside of his knee as I scissor my leg and pull out. If I can keep his hand here extended, that's what I want, right? So I can go to attacks, but if he pulls it back, no problem. I'm going to maintain the mount. All right, I'm going to give you guys a angle here. This helps me, by creating reactions, helps me get to the scissor control here, guys. Up, I got this 2-on-1, I grab, bring my knees to my chest, he's going away. I automatically push away, right, and bring my shin inside, right? Again, like I said, if he's coming forward, I'm gonna hit the sweep. But this time, he's dropping back. So when he drops back, and I wanna hit this sweep, I gotta make a little bit of distance here, guys, right? Because I can't get my leg inside. So I move out a little bit, and when I do, my left foot comes right here on his knee. When it does, I'm gonna push his knee not back, but out. When I do that, I'm still extending him out as I'm kicking up, boom, and I come up. Try, again, I emphasize, keeping this wrist up because I can go to attack here, right? But I don't wanna get greedy, I just wanna maintain the mount. All right, so if you put them together, I put them together, I'm here, I grab, maybe I wanna bring him forward, he's back, no problem, out, right? I'm gonna either go here, or as he's dropping back, I extend away and I come back here, boom, and out. And I'll come right up. One thing I do wanna mention also for a reaction is he might wanna stand up here. And if he's standing up incorrectly or lazy, I would take my legs and leg curl them, start to stand up now, and I bring my legs forward, right? And now I can come and swim inside, different things, right? Or his arms are here. When I do, I bring my legs forward, I'm back, now I'm underneath his elbows, I can pull his arms forward, right? And start to come back. So those are just different options. If he wants to stand up and cause reactions, I would be curling my legs back.
Those are fantastic sweeps. Like you said, I mean, you chain those together and you start reading the reactions of your opponent, whether he's coming forward on you, he's sitting back, you're gonna find yourself with a higher success rate. So that leads us right into the flower sweep, which is arguably one of my favorite sweeps. And we'll start off with just like the basic movement of it. So I wanna trap Paul's arm here. And when I grab his wrist, I'm gonna pin his wrist by making like a motorcycle grip, right? To keep it pinned down. Instead of shrimping out where I put my right foot on the mat like I'm gonna go to this scissor sweep, right? I'm not escaping my hips like this to create an angle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curl my legs to get Paul to come up just a little bit so I have room to underhook this leg here. So I'm gonna go palm up and I'm gonna underhook the leg. As I do, I'm gonna bring my whole body over towards his leg so I become perpendicular with Paul. Then I'm gonna kick this leg out and make little circles to keep shimmying my hips underneath Paul. And now he's fully loaded on this flower sweep here. So to finish the sweep, I'm going to tuck this outside leg underneath Paul as I extend my left leg, and then I'll come up to the mount. Now, if you haven't checked out our full mount masterclass, I'm gonna link it up here for you guys. You get to see the retention, all the finishes. So make sure you check that out if you haven't seen that yet. Now, come back. To make this sweep even more powerful, you can create reactions, kind of what I showed right at the beginning of the video. So as I have this 2-on-1 on Paul, I'm gonna separate, I'm gonna pull my knees aggressively towards my chest. I'm gonna pull his arm across his body, and I'm gonna hug his back to keep him trapped here. So I'm here. Now, as Paul starts reacting and coming back to the middle, I'm gonna take my right hand and underhook his leg as I cut the angle and come up to my flower or my pendulum sweep.
There's no space in that one. No space at all in that one.
We'll take it even one step further here and we'll change the angle just a little bit so they can see. Okay, so if you want to make this even worse, you can grab a gift wrap. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did. I'm going to pop my hips a little bit, create some separation. I'm going to pull his arm across his body as I aggressively pull my knees to my chest, hug his back. Now, because his arm is trapped by my chest, I could easily reach around his head and grab this gift wrap. Once I have this gift wrap, it's almost an automatic sweep. I'll take my right hand, come underneath his leg, sweep him up to the mouth.
That one's really, really good, especially when you chain all those together. And you'll see when my shoulder is pinned on Dom's chest, it's hard for me to come up because he's keeping my posture broken. And that'll lead us into the hip bump sweep and chaining that together. And so if Dom here is in my guard and I want to hit this hip bump sweep, let's talk about a couple things first, guys. I'm not going to just be able to sit up here, right? And I can't sit up here because he's holding my hips. I have to get some kind of an angle, right? So maybe I want to sit up here. I can't. I'm going to turn to the side. After I turn to the side, it's hard for him to control my hip here because I'm still able to come up. And it'd be the same thing if I was on this side, hipping into him. He's going to have to base here. Again, I come over and look, he has to base. Beautiful. And that's what I want, right? I'm creating angles, reactions and angles. So when I come to this side, right, you'll see me really emphasize. And notice as I emphasize, it brings him forward a little bit too, right? It brings him forward. I'm gonna come to the side here, and when I do, I wanna hip bump up. Be careful when I'm sitting up and I start to hip bump, I don't wanna put my hand behind my back. I'm gonna get hurt here. It's more at an angle. So when I come up here, this back leg is really popping into him, right? I can come across his hips, but a lot of times I like to come up real high because that makes his hand light here, right? So when I do, I snake around his arm here, but when I snake around his arm, I'm not just going to push on his elbow here. I'm gonna hurt my opponent. I'm gonna come around and go around his elbow back here. And when I do, I'm really gonna pop up and come up, right? From here, now I just wanna hold him out. There's a couple different ways you can go, but that's more in the finishes. All right, so if Dom, again, he's here, his hands are on my hips. Man, I'm trying to move, I'm not able to get it. Man, I'm not able to pull his arms, get clear, whatever the dude's just strong. I'm gonna come to the side, you'll see me come up, boom. He's gonna base, he bases. I automatically come and I grab this arm, you see that, and hip up, right? And everything is super tight here. All right, I'm anticipating him to put his arm out so I can hit this hip bump sweep. And solo by myself, you guys, think about what's going on here. As I'm turning to the side, right? Turning to the side, I'm up. This back leg, like I mentioned to you guys, is really hipping up. So I can come across, but I'd rather hip up, and it's making his arm even lighter as he posted, and I pull, right? Boom, boom, that back leg. All right, so now, when I do this here, guys, you'll see he's going to, maybe he doesn't base, automatically he's gonna grab my hips here, right? So as I come up here, man, circle just a little bit here, perfect. As you see I come up here, boom, he grabs my hips. If I let him just pull me back down, it's gonna be no good, right? So you'll see, as I sit up, I'm going to come up, he's gonna grab my, man, I'm already up. I'm already anticipating this hip bump. My hand weaves inside here. When it weaves inside here, even though he has his grip, I go at an angle and turn my hip out. He'll pull his arm out. I'm automatically reaching up here, circle, right? So it's all down the tubes if I don't follow up correctly, right? So automatically here, you'll see I'll grab this claw, and instead of wasting my time coming up, I can come up here because my hook is already in. I'm just going to pull his hip back. And as I pull his hip back, I'm already here. I got back control. Okay, so again, I'm going to come up here, right? And as I go to sit up, right? Maybe I went this way, boom, I'm automatically throwing this arm in for this switch. When I do, bam, my arm, this arm that's inside, that weaved into his inner thigh, is pinching down, you guys. It's pinching down heavy. And when I do, he pulls out. Like I said, if I want to come right up, I can just come right up here, get this control of the wrist, hit the spiral ride. All right, so I can chain all those together, right? I can chain them together even with, if I'm gonna go for the flower, I'm going the 2-on-1, I'm getting reactions. And that's what I want. I can put them all those sweeps together. With the scissor control, those are more kind of beginner based. You're not gonna really hit those on high level opponents. but you got to learn them a little bit to set things up, because you'll see a guy's just coming forward in a scramble, and if he's got bad balance, bad base, or he's just in, he's just in the moment, he's coming forward or he's sitting back. I can chain all those together, and when I chain those together, that's when they start to work.
Mm-hmm. So, yep. And one other thing to mention too, while we're playing the guard, we want to stay on the offensive cycle. And what I mean is jiu-jitsu works in cycles. You're either playing offense or you're playing defense. So if I'm just laying here and I'm not active with my guard, I'm not trying to break him down, trying to create angles, attempting sweeps like Paul just said, to create reactions for my opponents, I am letting my opponent just simply focus on passing and breaking my guard. And it's only a matter of time before now I'm trying to escape side control, or he's in the full mount, and it goes from worse to worse to worse, right? So you want to stay on the offensive cycle. That'll keep your opponent's mind on defense. He's got to start defending the sweeps, defending the attacks that we're going to share next week. And you're going to find a lot more success in your rolls. So thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you if you've subscribed. We love making all this content for you. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram if you haven't. Let us know what you want to see in the future, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.